Okay, I am here and I thought I'd just tell you a little bit. I'm concerned about the Cern. There's not much I can do except tell you what I learned about it. I'm not a physics professor, never was, but I've done a lot of studying. I'm not an expert on any of this stuff. I learned about it, and I learned about the risk that you're taking and what causes it and all that. Now, the Cern is a bigger magnet than the magnet that's in the Earth. Now, the problem is when you get two magnets working against each other, and that's what you're doing, that pulls things apart, and that tears the Earth apart on the inside. And that's what they're doing with the Cern. That's why they need to stop using the Cern. But I don't know how to get them to do that because it's in Europe, pretty much Europe-based. And the problem with that is the EU is one of the ones working with the United Nations, trying to bring America down, and they are the ones in charge of the Cern. They're using the Cern as a weapon of mass destruction. They have been ever since. And it was one of Hitler's designs that they're using. Now, the thing is, they turn that into a gamma ray factory. They can use it to take people's faces off with radiation, beams of radiation. And that's one of their plans. I saw it on a cartoon. That's what they're planning, believe it or not. And yes, they probably have that capability to do that now. See, the Cern has a bigger magnet. When you deal with magnets, especially one bigger than the other, you're pulling at the Earth, you're pulling at the fabric. The problem is when a thread gets so old, it breaks apart, and it's easy to break apart. Same way with the Earth. The older the Earth gets, the more at risk it is of tearing apart with the Cern. That's why the Cern needs to be stopped. It's like taking a pie and baking a pie in an oven. You put that pie in that oven and you heat it up. Now, yeah, it's fine at first. It cooks. But if you have the oven too high, all that filling comes out of the pie and gets all over the oven. Now, that's what the Cern is causing. Because it's like taking a rubber band, putting around your fingers real fast. The friction of the rubber band that you're using is causing that finger to heat up. It's the same way with the Cern. It's heating up the Earth. The problem is, once the oven is overheated and the pie blows up in the oven, you have to open the door of the oven and let it cool off. It doesn't always cool off real fast, but the problem is it cools off too fast. And then it makes ice crystals out of the gel from it being so cold. Now, that's the problem. What they're doing with the Cern is they're sending us into an early ice age that will take man out, that will freeze man to death. They're not talking about that on the news, but it's true. That's what's going to happen. They're trying to make humanity extinct by sending humanity into an early ice age. And the Cern needs to be stopped because of that. Sure, they think it's going to cure diseases. No, that's just a front. That's just a distraction like the snow. There is no cure. It puts out radiation just as much as the sun does, because anything puts out heat, puts out radiation, as I told you. Now the thing is, they keep using the Cern. They're going to make bigger and bigger holes. They're going to do more and more damage. Now the radiation goes into the crust of the earth, but that's not all. It goes into the vegetables too. I'll tell you more in the next video. Take care now. Bye.